Hey guys, and welcome back. Today I have for you a classic of mine, the medieval style home with the textures that I always like to use. Well, without further ado, let's just jump right in and get going on it. So for this build, it's a simple 5x7 using andesite and stone bricks. So we're going to start with the andesite and build out 5 with the stone bricks, and then wrap around using the 5x7 look. Then when you get to the front, we're going to break one block over from one corner and add an andesite brick. This will be for the door. I placed cobblestone stairs in front of that one lonely stone brick, and then I made feet platforms all the way around. And then finally, a floor of your choice. I used birch. Now to wall up, we're going to use our andesite bricks and build a total of 4 more tall on top of each corner. And then at the door spot, we're going to raise that 3 times and then 1 andesite brick over. And then now we're just going to raise it with stone bricks all the way around with a total of +4. So for the bottom floor windows, we're simply going to cut out a 2 tall hole right here, dead center between the door and the wall, and then one right in the very back, dead center as well. So for the very bottom of the building, we're going to use our staircases on all the feet, all the way around the building. And then for the very front, on the top of the andesite, we're going to place our staircases upside down, right there, and then also way in the back. But then on the side, the very important part, we're going to have one upside down, one lower, and then one facing inward, and then the same on the opposite side, mirrored. So for the upper floor, we're going to connect the inward facing andesite staircases with our stripped oak logs. And then on top of the upside down staircases, we're going to build up a total of 6, and then at the bottom, connect them all the way across. And just for clarification, I'll do it again here on the side, raising it a total of 6, and then connecting them at the bottom. Now for the peaks of the roof, we're going to go in and up 2, then in and up 2 again, and then connect with a single at the peak. So for the side view here, it's a bit tricky, but we're going to break the 3 logs in the center, then have them point out at the sides, then we're going to go up a total of 4 blocks from those staircases, and then we're going to have the middle meet, or the bottom meet rather. And then I used an oak log there at the bottom to go straight up, and then the staircase there, and the staircases in the back just to cover up the flooring. And then for the peaked roof, we're going to go in 1 and up 2, in 1, up 2, and then 1, and then make sure you build 3 logs back. So for the upper floor, we're going to be using our calcite as the perimeter on top of all the stone bricks all the way around, minus where the little side window is. I do make a mistake here at the beginning, but I correct that, and you'll see that in the imagery here afterwards. So when you do get the little side window there, you want to have like a little corner that faces in the window, but make sure you use calcite in the front, not birchwood. Then of course for the flooring, we're going to use birch as our choice. Next, we're going to take our calcite, and now we're going to raise it up to all the exposed pieces of wood. So what I mean by that is at the front face, we're going to raise that up to meet the middle portion of all the lumber there. So we're going to just fill in the hole, so when you from the outside in, it's all you can see is calcite. Then on the sides, we're going to raise the calcite walls to match the height of the logs they're coming from. And then when you get to this little side view window here, it's a bit tricky, but still following that same philosophy, we're going to follow the height all the way around, and then even at this point you'll see a little bit of a drop off, but that is supposed to be there. And then I did make a mistake on this side, it should have been raised up 1 more. So now for the roof, we're going to start with the small window here, and using our lime terracotta, we're going to have an overhang of 1, but we're just going to simply follow along the logs and having an overhang of 1 the whole way around and on the sides. So for the larger roof, we're going to start with the overhang of 1 and then just continuing our way up with the overhang of 1 in the front and on the sides there. We're going to do this all the way over the peaked roof, just like this. And then we're just going to run this all the way back and mirror it all the way around. So for the fun part, we get the details. We're going to start with the windows. This will apply to the front and the back. So we're going to punch out the hole for the window with 2 tall. Then we're going to put our little staircase flower garden pot there and whatnot, and then some fences for more detail. the spruce trapdoors on both sides, panes in the back, and then we're going to do a little bit of a window overhang here, a little cover with the oak stairs, and then just for a little more minor support details, I used oak stairs facing inwards going up, and then one at the top. Then I changed the logs to point out like so, and then I used some cobblestone underneath, again to give the overhang some more support. And we're going to do the same thing on the back. So for the small window, we have a lot less room to work with, but it still works. We're only going to use a one wide spot for the window, fence gate, and the trapdoor on top like that. Then we're going to use our support a little bit differently, using fences and cobblestone at the top, just because of our space being so limited and blocky. So the sidewall here is a bit tricky because there's a lot more space to work with and it feels unusable. But what I did was I punched out windows there in the center, one from the log beam that went straight up the top, just to give it a little more feeling of support, put the glass panes in, trapdoors, and just some minor details to break up the blandness that's, part of this big faced wall, which the bushes on the bottom helped, and some random trapdoors here and there, as well as some oak fences. So for the front of the build, we're going to use our spruce trapdoors around the window, and then our azalea bushes, as we always have been, flanking both sides of the window, one in the center there. Then I'm going to use some oak logs in between at the top, just above the window, with spacing of 1, an andesite stair in the center, and some oak fences in the middle of those for more details. Then on the side, we're going to pretty much copy what we have on the opposite, which is the fence posts going up and down, and the azalea bushes dead center. Now for the back side, which has the most detail, we use the spruce trapdoors on both sides of the window, the glass panes, with a coarse dirt there in the center for our flower pot, and then just have the staircases facing inward with the oak plank, stripped oak underneath. Just gradually filling in more details here and there, just to give the building that little extra detail. Now for one last thing, we're going to use the staircases just in front of the window with a little corner spot there, with the oak logs underneath going up. This way we have access to the upper floor. So we do have one problem, and that is just kind of an ugly interior, so we're going to go ahead and fix that. And to start, I'm going to go up here to the peak, and I'm just going to drag the oak logs all the way across like this. And then again, we're just going to follow this down the side here. But then once we get to this point, I'm just going to stop here like that, stop there like that. Now I'm going to go ahead and fill in here, just covering up all the green clay. Now I'm going to mirror this to that side. Now just to give this a little more depth, we're going to add some staircases going up here and there, just to give it a feeling of support. Then on the corners, I'm just going to raise it up like so, putting these staircases up on both sides. And then one more thing in the center, just to give it a little more oomph, I guess, is the best way to put it. Going to place the one space gap with the staircases facing inwards like that. And I'm actually going to bring that down once and put a chain, 2 chains, lantern. And there we have it. The rooftop is cleaned. And there we have it, a classic medieval style, maybe fantasy mixture home. I'm hoping that you guys are enjoying these videos. They do take a little bit of time to put together, and well, I do have many more planned, as you can see in the background. I'm not 100% on all of them, but they are all a work in progress. But with that said, as always, until next time, see you later.